Hey, Revo's here, picking up right with more reviews here. We're doing episode 3 of The Rings of Power. Um, Show is still dragging, but we're picking up with Queen Manuel uh kissing babies, the newborn babies of Numenor. And so she, while kissing them, she kind of freezes and get a premonition of a giant wave besieging and crashing all of Numenor. I don't know why they're doing this now, but she gets a premonition of this wave coming, crashing out, killing Numenor. She wakes up. Now you got Pharazôn in the city, shaking hands, talking to the common folk. Well, the normal people, the normal men of Numenor, where the guy who got beat up by Elbrand is now in the town square doing this weird thing about elves coming to take Numenorian jobs because they live forever and they're going to come and rob their city and take all of it. It's odd. It makes no sense for this to be here. I mean, it's one elf got stranded. I have no idea why the hell they did this line. Is it making this weird modern day we hate immigrants type scenario? Didn't, South Park, they took the gerbs type stuff. I don't know why they're doing that with this. There's no need for it, but we'll see. Now he gets the crowd rowdy, and Pharazôn talks them down and says, "Drinks on me, drinks for everybody," and tells them that they're mighty and they would bend to no elf would control them. It's noted here that Pharazôn, there's not a person he couldn't sway, not a soul he can't turn. He's just that gifted with gab. And I do think that is a little, if you know the lore, they are planting something there. That's the one thing the show is doing right so far, is the Pharazôn character. Sorry, I keep saying Pharazôn character. Now, you also see this guy, his son, is kind of sort of offering her ale to Isildur's daughter, trying to woo her. That's the wrong word. I don't know, but he is offering her ale, trying to get to know her. Ladriel and the queen, talking about the scrolls that she had taken from the elf Numenorian kind of keep. I don't say keep, but sanctuary there, where she's put together that Sauron's forces may be hiding in Middle Earth. And these two have a back and forth with Isildur laughing. And of course, this chick does not know when to back down. They're telling her Hilbrand will face judgment. She's telling them that Hilbrand is their leader. They're heavily shadowing Hilbrand and Aragornian vibes of him being able to unite the Southlanders and the Southern Kingdom, and he can bring them together, that they're leaderless. They're our hope. I believe that's something that Elrond said in Lord of the Rings when was talking to, who's he talking to? I believe it was Gandalf. And the show does that where they have them repeat lines verbatim in certain situations. She does it too here when she tell her that, oh, we're about to get to the Tempest. everybody's talking about the Tempest. But she literally says the exact lines that was said about Aragorn as far as Hellbrand, and that he can reunite them and he's the king, and they're leaderless. I forgot the verbiage, but if you hear it. And then she is saying she's not going to send anybody. The Tempest, or are you a castaway grasping for a handhold in the Tempest? And she says, there is a tempest in me. Horrible lie. But hey, I know how you feel, Galadriel. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Oh, girl, man. That's how they got you here. You know, I get a couple of Crave cases, or you get a couple of White Castles or some Taco Bell, there'd be a tempest in me too. And that's exactly what you're full of. There'd be a tempest. You better be ready to go to that bathroom, man. Anyway, she continues to be unruly. Don't listen. Annoying. Because the queen will not yield to her demands. So she demands that you respect the Tempest in her. He's looking at her like, what the hell does that even mean? And this part, I will not be quelled by you, Regent. Also something that Gandalf did when he arrived in Gondor with a Rohan. He said he wouldn't have to answer to the steward. I would not be questioned by you, steward, when it comes to the return of the king. So they're mirroring a lot, and they're echoing a lot of Lord of the Rings, the first trilogy. I don't know why they're doing that when they're technically a prequel. I don't know why they're leaning that hard like that. But her little spasm and her questioning to speak to the king, which she does, gets her thrown in jail, and he laughs. And you see some more shadowing of him. He tells her, maybe you're not the best at talking to, your place is on the battlefield. You're not the best at handling the courts. Tells her to know the mind of her enemy and what her enemy feels. Again, giving you heavy, very heavy, laid on Sauron vibes. Why would he even say that verbiage? She's not looking for them to be enemies. She's trying to get an alliance with them. She's too dumb to do it. They've made her so unlikable where she can't befriend a log. But she's trying to get an alliance. But he says the words, enemy. Heavy, showing his manipulative ways, his manipulative mindset, and how he thinks. Got in a Isildur here. Once again, he's out on the island, daydreaming on purpose, lets go the rope. His sea captain says, what the hell are you doing? He says, oh, I'm sorry, I daydreamed. Now his friends jumped in to help him, and he gets his friends and him kicked off of the Sea Guard. They've made this character unlikable. He's untrustworthy. He is flaky. Said that in my previous review. I know we're going back in reviews, but this character is just not likable. You can't depend on him. And in later episodes, when he's wanting to join the war, he can't understand why nobody wants him to join. You're not reliable to do your job. You only want to do what you want to do. So what happens when you're on the battlefield and you no longer want to do it? You get somebody else killed. So they're sitting here getting on him. He wanted to be a sea guard. That's all he wanted to be. Him and Antimo. That's all they want to do, and their dreams are crushed because he wants to dream of going west. Even though they're going to the south to help Hellbrand's friends, his kingdom. Anywho, see. Now we're back to Adar, who was introduced in the third chapter. You see, he's comforting the orc who was hurt when Oromir tried to escape. He's comforting him, and it seemed like he's going to heal him, but he just stabs him. He kills him, And you can't see he's very remorseful for killing him. He didn't want to kill him, but I guess whatever wound that he received, he felt like he couldn't help. You couldn't. He starts questioning Eramir, where you're from, where you're born from. He says Birland, which is in the elf lands. He seems quite amazed that an elf would be on the side of Sauron, or what seems to be Sauron, helping the enemy. And he starts speaking to him in the Quenya language, and he's questioning him. And he telling him he's been to his homeland before. He's telling him a bunch of this stuff. Now, this is the weird stuff. He releases this guy to go back to the village to deliver a message to the people to surrender. He gives them his weapons. Why? That is the stupidest thing I ever seen. You could have sent an orc to do that. You could one of the elves' dead body with a message of surrender or die. He sends him back. Him sending him back is going to play a role later. This is literally just to serve other parts of the plot. Basic, very simple writing. You do something else to cover something later on down the line, because if that doesn't happen, people die who you don't want to die right now, because you can't write them out in a better situation out of that situation. So Brownwind is here. She sticks out like a sore thumb because she got this bright blue dress that doesn't look dirty. Everybody else, it looks dirty, like they've been in a fight or a fire. She's helping them into the old tower. She's helping them get safety. Now what happens here is they're running out of food. So their son suggests he just go back and steal food from the farm. She says we can kill a couple of rabbits that's in the area. And there's a big debate about rabbit. There's not enough rabbits to feed anybody. They go on and on and on. There's an old man that joins to do so. The idea gets shunned about the rabbits, but he sneaks off with his friend anyway. They go back to the farm. That's the friend. They go back to the farm. It's seemingly abandoned because it's sunlight. And orcs do not do good in sunlight. Well, they burn to death. So they're getting the food, they're ransacking the food, they're getting all the leftover food from all the homes. And he goes and leaves. He's left by himself. Cloud cover comes and the orcs are back out. Now he's on the run, in which he pulls out the staff or the sword hilt of that he has of Black Blade or a Sauron or whatever. I don't know the name of it. It hasn't been revealed what that is yet. But he sees it. I was looking for him. He sees it and he's like, "You have it. Give it here." So he gets away from him. He lets all the other orcs know that he has it. And in order to hide, he hides in a well. So he tells them he found it. And they're all looking for him. Now he's stuck in this well for majority of the episode. Fast forward, Kalimdor and the dwarves are building the tower that he wants to get built before the spring. They're talking about it, and he's telling Elrond about meeting his father and things like that. So Elrond goes back to go see Durin. Durin's wife she asks, "Where's Durin?" So she's telling, "Oh, he went to go mine. He's down the mining tools." But he noticed that all of his mining tools are gone. And he tells her it would take a couple of days to make the mine hike. You can look at her face and tell she's irritated by his questions because he notices his weapons are all there. So now go to, "You pissing me off with your questions." It's a lot of talking here, bear with me. So she says, "Oh, he's such a skilled miner. He can climb the hill in about by the end of the day, and he'll be back." He don't believe her. Now here's what's stupid. During the whole time of this part, the kids are singing this, what seems to be a nursery rhyme song. And she keeps telling them to shut up about the song. And um, why are you singing that song? It turns out this song, because he don't believe her, but he lets it go. This song will play a greater effect later. She's mad because they're still singing that song. Now this is the first time you get a gist of elf sight and elf hearing, where he can see and read. No, he can read lips. He's reading their lips. He finds out that she's lying. He's lying. Doran is trying to keep him away from finding out that they have a new mining tunnel and what's in the mining tunnel. And the elf guard come up on him and shoo him off, but he already got the information from reading their lips. Here's the dumb part. So that part I was saying about the song, do you know that song was the passcode, or the way to open up this secret chamber? And this is bad writing here. He goes right to the wall. He goes down into the depths of the tunnel. He goes right to the wall. He doesn't look around. He's not looking for other walls. He's not looking around. He goes there as if he knows it's there. And then he just does the knock of what the children were humming, and it opens. But it's like, this tunnel, they just found it. It's supposed to be secretly enchanted. How would the kids know the hum? Why did you teach them to hum the password or the way to get in? How does he know to come right to this wall to get in? It is horrible, horrible writing. It's stupid. So, and he goes there, it opens, and he walks in, he sees the mithril lining the vein, and Doran walks in asking him, why are you spying on me? You came to spy on me. They have a back and forth. He tells them, oh, we found this spore. We call it glitter. No, they called it something else, sorry. So he says, in your language, it would be mithril, and he corrects him and says it will be mithril. Minithril. He tells him how strong it is. They've never seen an ore this strong. He gives him a piece. He makes him swear by the oath of the mountain that he will never tell anybody of gray glitter. See, he thinks it'll be mithrod, and he tells him it will be mithril. Let me see here. And so he swears, if I can get a picture of him swearing, he swears that he, by the oath of the Stone Mountain, he will never, ever tell anybody about this mithril. There is a excavation gone bad. 4 dwarves, a tunnel collapses. 4 dwarves get caught in a tunnel. This is all off screen. You don't see it. You hear it, and Doran goes running out to save them. And we're back at with the Numenors. Back with Isildur's daughter. This is where he tells her about mastering them, learning what they fear. And look how he says it. So you can master them. She's looking for an alliance. What do you mean master them? Like I said, they're heavily laying on that this guy Sauron. If this guy's Sauron, this is horrible writing. This is just misdirection from misdirection's sakes. This is not lore building. She tells him she's asking her to fight for your people, that she knows who he is, that he's a king, he needs to reclaim his throne. He doesn't want to do it. The guards come to take her out. She beats all 4 of the guards and put them in the cell. There's actually a scene where you can tell she's sizing him up. I don't know how somebody can't tell when they're being sized up, but She sized them up and took out all 4 guards who got weapons, and she has, again, Sauron vibe. So Farazad comes and he's about to draw a sword to attack her. He tells him, I wouldn't do that if I were you. You wouldn't have to do that if you knew exactly where she was going. And so with Farazad hearing that, he sheaths his sword and he backs away. And I'm assuming he tells Farazad where she's going, because later on they do pick her up. They do come to where she is. So this could be the start of him whispering to Farazan and him starting to build that trust with Farazan, that if he is who I think he is. But even then, it's taken forever. He gets kicked off. She's congratulating him for getting kicked off, and she's saying, now you can go west. But how's he gonna go west? His father's gonna put him in the doghouse for failing what he was given to do. It's out that she's escaped. What she does is she goes straight to the queen's regent's chamber to see that the king is not well. She questions her faith. Why you've turned from the loyalty that your family used to have. Your father was so strong in alliance with the elves. She lets her know, well, that changed. The people changed. They no longer want to hear an alliance with the elves. And so my father was quietly shunned about his wanting to return to our roots of an alliance with the elves. So she brings her to the Planeteer to touch it. She claims the other 6 are hidden. She shows her the vision of the water besieging and falling on Numenor, and she gets shook up by it. She tells her that the vision she sees, that the Planeteer doesn't always mean it will come true, that she needs to fight it. But as far as I know with Planeteer, doesn't it just, if like Third Age and stuff, it just allows communication. I don't know about this, you seeing visions with it. So she tells her only Numenor can bring about their downfall. She says her decision is final. She's not going to support her. They're tearing the city up trying to look for her. Now back to Theo. It's nightfall now, so the orcs are really out. There's no sun to keep him. He's ready to go out. They can't catch him because he's still in the town. And despite the fact that orcs have strong smell, this town probably reeks of human. They can't pinpoint him. So he's running around, but one orc does find him and he kills him. And this is what I was saying. Writing with this show is very heavy-handed. The only reason why he got let out was so he can give them a message. Without him coming back, they would have killed him and took the hilt. But anywho, you got a scene of them running away. This is all in slow motion. I mean, they are really in love with slow motion here. They're running, he slowly pushes him out the way. He slowly catches an arrow. And, you know, elves are mastery of bowmanship and reaction. So, archery and reaction. I'm not going to poo-poo that, per se. But this is ridiculous. That is, everything here is slow. It's like, ooh, catch. Draw it back. That's really how it, I don't know who came up with this. It is horrible. Now, they are saved by the daylight. And they make it to the town. And because of the daylight, the orcs are here. There's a funny thing I thought about. When they were running away, they were getting shot at. All types of arrows. He had to catch it. He is standing here with a sword. They're still in darkness here, right here, right? Why can't an archer shoot him? He's stationary. He's very, very, very stationary. And the scene, there's so many owls flying at them, but of course they're missing them. But now they're all stationary. Why are there no archers? In fact, to make it even more hilarious, they're just standing there. And to make it even more, he's still standing there. Now they're running, and now they're shooting arrows. Now you want to shoot arrows. The whole time he was standing there for a UFC poster, for a face-off poster. You ain't shoot one arrow. Now you want to shoot arrows. Whatever you say. I forgot his wife's name. Doran's wife, she's singing a song praying for the dwarves out of the trap to come back. It's a powerful song. She's praying to the mountain that they relieved the elves. As I said, it's back. They've been saved. The king gets on him. The king stops him from mining mithril. He starts saying he wish he never had to hear from his father. He don't want to deal with his father. And Elrond reminds him that, hey, I can't communicate with my father. My father's gone. There's going to be a day where you can just wish you can even see him. So even though he's mad at you, you should cherish the time you have with him and talk to him. Good advice. I like the friendship between these two. These two are the best things going on right now for this show. Even she's not so bad. She's just unfortunately part of their plan / marketing campaign that pissed everybody off. All in all, she's not bad. She doesn't even have as much screen time as it seemed like she would have. By them just they were marketing her more than Durin. They have this little thing where they're going about how they actually met, in which it comes off. Elrond talks about how he saved Durin, and Durin was screaming. He could hear it from over the hills, wailing and screaming. It was a battle, like it was a battle cry. Those two are funny. Now you do have it to where another moment, doesn't bother me too much, where the father basically tells him about the history of being the king and how it's said that all the voices of the forebearers, the other kings, flow into the current king, guiding and aiding them. He tells him that he don't want to wait until his son Durin, until he's gone. He's going to tell him now that he appreciates him and he's there with him. And even though he's angry, nothing's changed. And it is in that he's with him. It is a very nice scene. Nope, outside of this, nothing has happened this episode, though. Nothing. It's been a bunch of talking. This episode is about over. Sits down. He continues to wonder. He stands by his father's side. His father asks him, do you trust the elves? He says, no, I think something else is going on here. His father says, good. That's good. You're correct. Oh, these two, the unrequited love. They sit here holding each other's hands and asking why you came back. And I thought I lost you and I don't care. Now, the son, I don't know why, well, I think it's bothering him now. He lifts up his arm to see a mark, and the guy sees it. And he's like, oh, you got the mark. Ah, you know. Ah, yes, you gotta rest up. You heard about Sauron, boy. He's a-coming. You saw the comet, didn't you? And I'm like, oh, boy. And it goes off that way. Well, actually, it doesn't. Sorry. Yeah, because he took it from him. He took the ore from him. He tells him to save his strength because he heard about Sauron. He's on the way. It goes off with them sending her off to go away from us. Wish they would do that with the show, but they're not going to do so. As they're sending her off, and she's being sent off, the leaves of the Numenorian tree, it's just blowing like it's dead middle of fall as so many leaves come off. They see it. They both know what it means. That it's just raining leaves now. They look at each other, and she declares that the people of Numenor are going to align with her, and they need to start getting troops to send people over to the Middle Earth and the Southlands. They're joining the conflict. They start getting volunteers to see who will go. Every man, woman, and child. Keep in mind, this is a Tolkien lore, and women fighting in Numenorean is, but they're putting modern day politics. These two raise their hand to volunteer. Now here's my Numenoria in lore has the best naval army at its time. As far as naval fleets, was damn near second to none. Why are you looking for volunteers to go? Random people off of the street. Why are you looking to Why are you looking to get volunteers? That makes no sense. Where's your army? Where's your officers? Where's the naval fleet? It is mentioned in episode 5 that they have a cavalry. Where the hell's the cavalry? Why are they leading with volunteers? People start volunteering, and it goes off. I don't think give this episode maybe a 5. It's just dry. It's needless tension, and I'm so tired of looking at Galadriel's face with the eyes, and she just staring at the screen whenever somebody say something like, I know you didn't, I'm so mad right now. Like, it's nothing going on. We are at the equivalent of 6 hours in, 2 movies in. Nothing. Now, granted, you can do more with a show, but this is ridiculous. There's only like 4 at the time I'm doing this, 3 episodes left. Come on. But you gotta let me know what you think. Am I off base here? Did you like it? What are you looking forward? When do you think it's gonna pick up? Again, this is Revos here. Peace and bless with your family. Goodbye for now.